Cucumbers are one of the most trusted foods in the kitchen. They are light, refreshing, and almost every doctor seems to recommend them. With more than 95% water, cucumbers help hydrate the body, support digestion, and provide valuable nutrients like vitamin K, potassium, and antioxidants. For many seniors, they feel like the perfect snack. Cool, simple, and healthy. But there's something most people never hear. For adults over 60, certain common cucumber habits can quietly create serious health problems. And the surprising part is that these mistakes often look completely harmless. A cucumber that isn't washed properly could carry bacteria capable of causing severe food poisoning. A bitter cucumber might contain natural toxins that trigger violent digestive reactions. Eating cucumbers at the wrong time of day can disrupt sleep and digestion. And one very common habit involving cucumbers can even interfere with blood-thinning medications, increasing the risk of dangerous blood clots or stroke. None of this means cucumbers are bad for you. In fact, when used correctly, they can be a wonderful part of a healthy diet. The problem is how they're used. Many seniors unknowingly make small mistakes when eating cucumbers. Mistakes that reduce their nutritional value, irritate digestion, or place unnecessary stress on the body. And because these habits feel so normal, most people never realize what's happening until symptoms appear. Today, we're going to uncover 6 cucumber mistakes that adults over 60 should avoid, along with simple ways to enjoy cucumbers safely while still getting their full health benefits. And the final mistake on this list may surprise you the most, because it's a habit many people adopt when trying to eat healthier, but it can actually lead to fatigue, weakness, and nutrient deficiencies over time. So, if cucumbers are a regular part of your diet, stay with me until the end, because knowing these small but important details can help you turn a simple vegetable into a powerful ally for health, energy, and longevity. Mistake number 1, not washing cucumbers before eating them. It may seem like a small detail, but skipping this simple step can expose your body to pesticides, bacteria, and harmful contaminants. And for adults over 60, the consequences can be far more serious than most people realize. Cucumbers often look clean on the outside. Their smooth green skin can give the impression that they're safe to eat straight from the market or garden. Many people simply slice them and add to salads without thinking twice. But the reality is very different. During commercial farming, cucumbers are frequently exposed to agricultural pesticides designed to protect crops from insects and disease. According to reports from the US Department of Agriculture, traces of pesticide residues are detected on a significant percentage of conventionally grown fruits and vegetables. Even though these chemicals are regulated, repeated exposure over time may contribute to health concerns such as hormonal disruption, neurological stress, and increased oxidative damage. Risks that can be more concerning for older adults whose detoxification systems are not as efficient as they once were. As we age, the body's natural defense systems begin to change. The liver, which helps neutralize toxins, gradually becomes less efficient. The kidneys responsible for filtering waste from the blood also experience a decline in filtration capacity. At the same time, immune responses become slower and less robust. This means that substances the body once cleared easily may remain longer in the system. But pesticides aren't the only concern. The surface of cucumbers can also carry foodborne pathogens such as Salmonella and Escherichia, especially if they were exposed to contaminated irrigation water, handled improperly during transport, or sold in open markets. For younger individuals, mild food poisoning may result in temporary discomfort, but for seniors, the risks are much greater. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, older adults are significantly more likely to experience severe complications from foodborne illness, including dehydration, hospitalization, and bloodstream infections. Symptoms can include severe abdominal cramps, vomiting, persistent diarrhea, fever, dehydration. In some cases, these infections can become life-threatening if not treated promptly. Fortunately, protecting yourself is very simple. Before eating cucumbers, always rinse them thoroughly under running water for at least 20 to 30 seconds. Gently rubbing the surface with your hands or a vegetable brush can help remove dirt, bacteria, and pesticide residues. For additional protection, some people soak cucumbers in a mild salt water or vinegar solution for a few minutes before rinsing again with clean water. If the source of the cucumber is unknown or you are particularly concerned about pesticide exposure, peeling the skin can further reduce risk. Although the skin also contains beneficial fiber and nutrients, proper storage is also important. Cucumbers should be kept in the refrigerator and consumed within a reasonable time to prevent bacterial growth. It may sound simple, but washing cucumbers carefully is one of the easiest ways to reduce exposure to contaminants and protect your health. And surprisingly, the next mistake is something many people dismiss as a minor taste issue. Yet, it can actually signal the presence of natural toxins inside the cucumber itself. Mistake number 2, ignoring a bitter taste and eating the cucumber anyway. Cucumbers are known for their mild, refreshing flavor. They're usually slightly sweet, crisp, and cooling. So when a cucumber tastes unusually bitter, many people assume it's just a minor quality issue and keep eating it anyway. But that bitter taste is actually a natural warning signal, and ignoring it can expose your body to toxic compounds. Cucumbers belong to the gourd family, the same plant group as zucchini, squash, and pumpkins. Plants in this family naturally produce chemical compounds called cucurbitacins. In normal amounts, cucurbitacins are present only in trace levels and usually remain concentrated near the stem or skin. However, when cucumbers experience environmental stress, such as extreme heat, drought, poor soil conditions, or genetic mutation, the concentration of cucurbitacins can rise dramatically. When this happens, the cucumber becomes very bitter, and in high concentrations, these compounds can be toxic to humans. Consuming cucumbers with elevated cucurbitacin levels can lead to a condition sometimes referred to as toxic squash syndrome. Although rare documented cases show that the symptoms can appear within minutes to several hours after consumption, Common symptoms include severe nausea, vomiting, intense abdominal cramps, diarrhea, dizziness, low blood pressure, dehydration. For older adults, these symptoms can escalate quickly because aging bodies are more vulnerable to fluid loss and circulatory instability. As we age, kidney filtration and liver detoxification gradually decline. This means toxins like cucurbitacins may stay in the body longer and cause stronger reactions. In severe cases, dehydration and electrolyte imbalance can require hospital treatment. Medical literature has even documented unusual side effects linked to cucurbitacin poisoning. In several reported cases, patients experience temporary hair loss because these toxins can damage hair follicles during acute poisoning events. While such extreme reactions are uncommon, they illustrate how powerful these plant compounds can be. What makes cucurbitacin exposure particularly tricky is that the toxin does not distribute evenly throughout the cucumber. This means cutting away the bitter section does not guarantee safety because the rest of the fruit may still contain elevated levels. The safest rule is simple. If a cucumber tastes strongly bitter, stop eating it immediately and discard it. Do not try to cook it, soak it, or mix it into a salad to hide the flavor. Heat and seasoning do not neutralize cucurbitacins effectively. When shopping for cucumbers, choose ones that are firm and evenly shaped, bright green in color, free from yellowing or shriveling. Older or stressed cucumbers are more likely to develop bitterness. Even when cucumbers come from a trusted grocery store or home garden, environmental conditions during growth can still lead to cucurbitacin buildup. That's why the taste test is so important. Nature designed that bitterness to warn you. Throwing away one bitter cucumber may feel wasteful, but it is far safer than risking a toxic reaction. And while this mistake involves toxins in the vegetable itself, the next one is surprisingly common, and it has nothing to do with toxicity. Instead, it involves when you eat cucumbers and how the timing can quietly disrupt digestion and sleep for many seniors. Mistake number 3, eating cucumbers late at night. At first glance, cucumbers seem like the perfect evening snack. They are light, refreshing, low in calories, and many people believe they're easier to digest than heavier foods. But for adults over 60, eating cucumbers late at night or just before bed can quietly interfere with both digestion and sleep quality. The reason lies in the composition of cucumbers themselves. Cucumbers are made up of about 95% water, which makes them excellent for hydration during the day. They also contain dietary fiber, particularly in the skin, which supports digestion and helps regulate bowel function. However, these same qualities can become problematic when consumed too close to bedtime. As evening approaches, the body naturally begins to slow down its metabolic activity. Digestive processes become less efficient. Stomach emptying slows, and the gastrointestinal system prepares for rest. When a large amount of water, rich and fiber containing food enters the stomach during this time, digestion can become sluggish. For seniors whose digestive systems may already move more slowly due to age-related changes, This can lead to symptoms such as bloating, gas, and abdominal discomfort, acid reflux when lying down, a sensation of heaviness in the stomach. Fiber that is normally helpful during the day may sit longer in the stomach and intestines at night, causing uncomfortable fermentation by gut bacteria. But digestion is only part of the issue. Because cucumbers contain so much water, eating them late in the evening can also increase nighttime urination, a condition known medically as nocturia. Nocturia becomes increasingly common with age, as bladder capacity changes and kidney function shifts. When additional fluid-rich foods are consumed late in the evening, the bladder fills more quickly during sleep. This often leads to multiple trips to the bathroom throughout the night. Frequent sleep interruptions can have a significant impact on health for older adults. Research has linked poor sleep quality to reduced memory and cognitive performance, increased fatigue during the day, weakened immune function, higher risk of falls due to nighttime dizziness or grogginess. Even 1 or 2 extra awakenings each night can reduce the amount of deep, restorative sleep the body needs for recovery. For these reasons, many nutrition experts recommend that seniors consume water-rich foods such as cucumbers earlier in the day when the body is actively digesting and the kidneys can process fluids more efficiently. A good guideline is to eat cucumbers with breakfast or lunch as a midday snack and early evening meals. If you enjoy cucumbers in the evening, try to keep the portions small and eat them at least 2 hours before bedtime. This allows the digestive system time to process the food and the body time to eliminate excess fluid before sleep. Cucumbers can be incredibly refreshing and healthy, but timing plays an important role in how the body responds to them. And surprisingly, the next mistake many people make has nothing to do with timing, but with how cucumbers are combined with other foods, which may quietly reduce the nutritional value of an otherwise healthy meal. Mistake number 4. Combining cucumbers with the wrong foods. Many people believe that the more vegetables they mix together, the healthier the meal becomes. That's why cucumber tomato salads are so common in kitchens around the world. They are fresh, colorful, and easy to prepare. However, there is an interesting biochemical interaction between cucumbers and certain vegetables that many people never hear about. Cucumbers naturally contain an enzyme known ascorbate oxidase. This enzyme plays a role in plant metabolism, but when cucumbers are cut or crushed, the enzyme becomes active and can begin breaking down vitamin C. Vitamin C is one of the most important antioxidants in the human diet. It helps protect cells from oxidative stress, supports immune function, contributes to collagen formation for skin and joints, and improves the absorption of iron from plant-based foods. Foods such as tomatoes, bell peppers, and many leafy vegetables are rich sources of vitamin C. When these foods are mixed with chopped cucumbers and left sitting for long periods, the ascorbate oxidase in cucumbers can gradually oxidize the vitamin C present in the other vegetables. This does not instantly destroy all vitamin C, but research in food chemistry shows that enzyme-driven oxidation can significantly reduce vitamin C levels when the mixture is exposed to oxygen and allowed to sit for extended periods. For older adults, this matters more than most people realize. Aging is associated with increased oxidative stress, reduced immune efficiency, and slower tissue repair. Vitamin C helps counter these processes by neutralizing free radicals and supporting the immune system. When the vitamin C in meals is degraded before it is even eaten, the body loses some of the protective benefits that nutrient provides. Fortunately, this does not mean cucumber. Tomato salads must be avoided completely. The key factor is timing and preparation. When cucumbers are mixed with vitamin C-rich foods and eaten immediately, nutrient loss is minimal. However, if the salad is prepared hours in advance and stored in the refrigerator, enzyme activity has more time to break down the vitamin C. There are also ways to slow down this reaction. Adding acidic ingredients such as lemon juice or vinegar can reduce the activity of ascorbate oxidase by lowering the pH of the environment. Acidic dressings are commonly used in Mediterranean-style salads for this very reason. Preparing the salad shortly before eating and storing vegetables separately until serving are also effective ways to preserve nutrient quality. Another issue with cucumber dishes involves the ingredients people often add to them. Cucumbers themselves are extremely light nutritionally. A whole cucumber contains roughly 45 calories, very little fat, and modest amounts of vitamins and minerals. This makes them a refreshing, hydrating food, but it also means that whatever is added to them can quickly dominate the nutritional profile of the dish. Many people enhance cucumbers with large amounts of salt, sugary sauces, or creamy dressings such as mayonnaise. Excess sodium intake is a well-known contributor to hypertension, which is one of the leading risk factors for stroke and cardiovascular disease in older adults. The World Health Organization recommends limiting sodium intake to about 2,000 milligrams per day. Yet, a single heavily salted cucumber salad can contribute a significant portion of that limit. Heavy dressings can also add unnecessary saturated fats and sugars, turning a naturally hydrating vegetable into a calorie-dense dish that offers fewer health benefits. A better approach is to keep cucumber preparations simple and balanced. Fresh herbs, a drizzle of olive oil, yogurt-based dips, or a small portion of hummus can add flavor while maintaining the nutritional advantages of cucumbers. Combining cucumbers with sources of protein such as yogurt, eggs, tofu, or lean meats also creates a more balanced snack that helps maintain muscle mass, which becomes increasingly important with age. In short, cucumbers are a healthy vegetable, but the way they are combined with other foods can influence how much nutrition your body actually receives. Preparing them fresh, limiting excessive salt and heavy dressings, and paying attention to food pairings helps ensure that cucumbers remain a beneficial part of a healthy diet rather than quietly losing their nutritional value. Mistake number 5. Eating too many cucumbers while taking blood thinners. Cucumbers seem so light and harmless that many people never consider how they might interact with medications. But for seniors, taking blood-thinning drugs, eating large amounts of cucumbers, especially with the peel, can quietly interfere with how those medications work. One of the most commonly prescribed anticoagulant drugs is Warren. Doctors prescribe this medication to reduce the risk of dangerous blood clots in people with conditions such as atrial fibrillation, deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, or after certain heart surgeries. Warren works by blocking the activity of vitamin K. Vitamin K plays a critical role in the production of clotting proteins in the liver. By slowing down this process, Warren helps prevent blood from clotting too quickly, which reduces the risk of stroke and other cardiovascular events. The challenge is that vitamin K intake from food directly influences how effective this medication is. When someone suddenly eats large amounts of vitamin K-rich foods, the medication can become less effective, allowing the blood to clot more easily than intended. On the other hand, if vitamin K intake suddenly drops, Warren can become too powerful, increasing the risk of internal bleeding. This is why doctors closely monitor patients on Warren using a blood test called the INR, International Normalized Ratio, which measures how quickly blood clots, while cucumbers are not as rich in vitamin K as leafy greens like spinach or kale. They still contain meaningful amounts, particularly in the skin. A medium cucumber weighing about 300 g can provide roughly 45 to 50 micrograms of vitamin K, which is approximately 35 to 40% of the recommended daily intake for adults. If someone eats one cucumber occasionally, this usually does not create a problem. However, if a person suddenly begins eating several cucumbers a day, perhaps while trying to eat healthier or lose weight, their vitamin K intake may rise enough to affect medication balance. For seniors whose blood clotting must remain carefully controlled, even moderate dietary changes can shift INR levels outside the safe range. Research in cardiovascular medicine consistently emphasizes that consistency is more important than elimination. Most doctors do not require patients to completely avoid vitamin K containing foods. Instead, they recommend maintaining a stable and predictable intake so medication doses can be adjusted appropriately. In practical terms, this means that if you regularly eat cucumbers, it is usually safe to continue doing so, but try to keep the amount consistent from day to day. Here are several important safety guidelines. Avoid sudden increases in cucumber consumption if you are taking blood thinners. Maintain a consistent daily intake rather than alternating between none and large amounts. Inform your doctor if you plan to significantly change your diet. Schedule INR monitoring when making dietary adjustments. For people concerned about vitamin K intake, removing the cucumber skin can slightly reduce vitamin K levels because much of the vitamin is concentrated in the peel. However, the skin also contains fiber and antioxidants. So peeling should only be necessary if consumption becomes excessive. It is also worth noting that some newer anticoagulants, such as pixabin and rivaroxaban, do not interact with vitamin K in the same way as Warren. Nevertheless, anyone taking blood thinning medication should discuss major dietary changes with their healthcare provider. Cucumbers can absolutely be part of a heart-healthy diet. But when medications are involved, even healthy vegetables should be eaten thoughtfully and consistently. And surprisingly, the final mistake on this list is one that many seniors make while trying to eat healthier. Using cucumbers as a replacement for full meals, which can quietly lead to serious nutritional deficiencies over time. Mistake number 6, replacing real meals with cucumbers. At first glance, this habit seems harmless. In fact, many seniors believe it is a smart health decision. Cucumbers are light, refreshing, low in calories, and easy to digest. So, some people begin eating large plates of cucumbers instead of full meals, especially at dinner, hoping to lose weight or eat cleaner. But this is one of the most overlooked nutrition mistakes older adults make. Cucumbers are composed of about 95 to 96% water. A whole cucumber, weighing roughly 300 g, provides only about 45 calories, around 2 g of protein, and extremely small amounts of essential fats, iron, calcium, and B vitamins. While cucumbers are excellent for hydration and digestion, they simply do not contain the nutrients the aging body needs to maintain strength and metabolic stability. After the age of 60, the body becomes far more vulnerable to sarcopenia, a condition in which muscle tissue gradually declines. According to research published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, older adults require significantly higher protein intake per kilogram of body weight compared with younger adults to preserve muscle mass and mobility. Yet, cucumbers contain almost no protein. When meals are replaced with foods that provide mostly water and fiber, the body begins to compensate by breaking down stored muscle tissue for energy. Over time, this can lead to weakness, fatigue, slower walking speed, and increased risk of falls, one of the most serious health risks for people over 65. But protein is only part of the issue. Balanced meals supply many nutrients that cucumbers simply cannot provide in meaningful amounts. For example, iron, necessary for oxygen transport in the blood, calcium, critical for bone density, vitamin B12, essential for nerve health and cognitive function, healthy fats needed for brain and hormone health. A diet that consistently replaces meals with cucumbers may gradually lead to deficiencies in these nutrients. Over time, these deficiencies can contribute to iron deficiency, anemia, chronic fatigue, and even worsening cognitive function. There is also another hidden issue: blood sugar stability. While cucumbers themselves do not raise blood sugar significantly, eating meals that contain almost no protein or fat can lead to unstable energy levels. Without balanced nutrients, blood glucose can drop too low between meals, causing dizziness, weakness, and lightheadedness. Symptoms that are especially dangerous for seniors who already face a higher fall risk. Nutrition experts consistently emphasize that healthy eating is about balance, not restriction. Cucumbers should be viewed as a supportive food, not a replacement for complete nutrition. A healthier approach is to enjoy cucumbers as part of a balanced meal or snack. For example, combine cucumber slices with yogurt-based dips or hummus. Add cucumbers to salads that include lean protein such as chicken, eggs, or tofu. Pair cucumbers with healthy fats like avocado or olive oil. These combinations help create meals that support muscle health, stable energy levels, and long-term wellness. In most cases, 1 to 2 cucumbers per day is a reasonable amount for healthy adults. Problems typically arise only when cucumbers begin replacing real meals or when they are consumed in excessive quantities. And there is one more caution many people forget: pickled cucumbers. Pickles can contain extremely high sodium levels due to the salt used in preservation. High sodium intake is strongly associated with hypertension, which increases the risk of stroke, heart disease, and kidney strain, conditions that are already more common with aging. The key message is simple: cucumbers are a refreshing and healthy vegetable, but they are not a complete food. Your body, especially after 60, needs a wide range of nutrients to maintain strength, protect the brain, and support healthy aging. Use cucumbers to complement your meals, not replace them, because true health and later life is built on variety, balance, and nourishment, not extreme simplicity. Part 2. Additional warning: pickled cucumbers, the hidden sodium trap. There is another cucumber habit that many people overlook completely, yet it can quietly become one of the most harmful, especially for adults over 60. That habit is eating pickled cucumbers, commonly known as pickles. Pickles may look like a simple vegetable snack, but nutritionally, they are very different from fresh cucumbers. The problem lies in how they are preserved. Traditional pickling requires large amounts of salt to prevent bacterial growth and extend shelf life. While this process makes cucumbers last longer, it also turns them into a high sodium food. To understand how serious this can be, consider the numbers. A single medium pickle can contain 700 to 1,200 milligrams of sodium, depending on the brand and preparation method. According to recommendations from the World Health Organization, adults should consume less than 2,000 milligrams of sodium per day. That means just one large pickle could provide over half of your entire daily sodium allowance. For seniors, this matters even more. As we age, the kidneys gradually become less efficient at filtering excess sodium from the bloodstream. Blood vessels also lose elasticity, making the cardiovascular system more sensitive to salt intake. Excess sodium causes the body to retain water, which increases blood volume and places additional pressure on blood vessel walls. Over time, this can contribute to hypertension, one of the leading risk factors for stroke, heart attack, and kidney disease. Research published by the American Heart Association consistently shows that high sodium consumption is strongly associated with elevated blood pressure and increased cardiovascular risk, particularly in older adults. But sodium is not the only concern with pickled cucumbers. Many commercial pickles contain added preservatives, sugar, and flavor enhancers that can further reduce their nutritional value. In sweet pickles, sugar levels can become surprisingly high, which may negatively affect blood sugar control in people with type 2 diabetes. There is also the issue of portion size. Because pickles are small and flavorful, people often eat several without realizing how quickly sodium intake adds up. For example, 2 medium pickles can provide 1,400 to 2,000 milligrams sodium. 3 pickles may exceed the entire daily recommended sodium intake for individuals managing high blood pressure, kidney disease, or heart conditions. This level of sodium can significantly worsen health outcomes. This does not mean pickles must be completely eliminated from the diet. However, they should be treated more like a condiment than a vegetable serving. If you enjoy pickles, consider these safer habits. Choose low sodium pickle varieties when available. Limit consumption to small portions rather than several whole pickles. Balance salty foods with potassium-rich vegetables such as spinach or tomatoes. Drink adequate water to support kidney function. Another healthier alternative is homemade quick pickles, which can be prepared using vinegar, herbs, and far less salt than commercial versions. The key takeaway is simple. Fresh cucumbers hydrate and nourish the body, but heavily salted pickles can quietly push sodium intake into dangerous territory. For seniors trying to protect their heart, blood pressure, and kidney health, understanding this hidden sodium trap can make a meaningful difference. Final conclusion. So, what is the real lesson behind everything we discussed today? Cucumbers are not the enemy. In fact, they are one of the most refreshing, hydrating vegetables you can eat, with about 95% water, natural fiber, and important micronutrients. Cucumbers can support digestion, hydration, and overall wellness, especially for adults over 60. But as we've seen, even healthy foods can cause problems when they're used the wrong way. Not washing cucumbers can expose you to pesticide residues and harmful bacteria. Ignoring bitterness may expose you to natural toxins like cucurbityn. Eating them too late at night can disrupt digestion and sleep. Pairing them incorrectly may reduce nutrient absorption. Consuming too many while taking medications can interfere with treatment. And replacing real meals with cucumbers can slowly deprive your body of the nutrients it needs to stay strong. Even something as simple as pickled cucumbers can become risky if the sodium intake climbs too high, contributing to hypertension, one of the biggest health threats for seniors. In other words, cucumbers are healthy only when they are used wisely. The goal is not to avoid them, but to eat them with awareness, balance, and common sense. Wash them properly. Pay attention to bitterness. Eat them earlier in the day. Pair them with nourishing foods like protein and healthy fats. And most importantly, remember that no single food should replace a balanced diet. Healthy aging is not built on extreme habits. It is built on consistent, thoughtful choices made every day. And sometimes the smallest habits, like how you prepare a simple cucumber, can quietly shape your long-term health. If you found this video helpful, take a moment to support the channel. Give this video a like so more people can learn these important health tips. In the comments, tell us your age and how often you eat cucumbers each week. We read every comment and love learning from this community. And don't forget to subscribe to Golden Rest Guide for more science-backed insights that help you stay strong, sharp, and independent after 60. Because growing older doesn't have to mean growing weaker. With the right knowledge, and the right daily habits, you can continue building strength, protecting your health, and living life with vitality for many years to come.